The fallacy of false precision consists in putting exact numbers to inexact quantities. When someone tells you that I know the Scots are supposed to be mean, but in fact they're 63% more generous than Welsh people, ask yourself, now what kind of measuring rod does he use to measure generosity, and in what units is it measured? How can one possibly come up with an exact number like that? Both mathematics and science make use of numbers, and both of them carry a great deal of authority. And this is why people commit the fallacy of false precision. They put numbers onto things that will not bear the weight of numbers in order to impart some of the authority that mathematics and science have. Our mouthwash is twice as good, yes, 2 times as good as its leading competitor. Well, fine. I wonder what kind of instrument measures the quality of a mouthwash, and in what units is it calculated? There are many versions of the fallacy of false precision that are met in everyday life. 4 out of 5 people cannot tell our margarine from butter. Well, yes, if on a one-off test, margarine against butter, they can't tell the difference, we might be impressed that 4 out of 5 people fall into that category. If, however, we look at the research and find that on a table with 12 biscuits, variously laid with different types of butter, people could not pick out the one that had margarine on it, we'd be less than impressed with that 4 out of 5 claim. False precision, we would say. Another version of the fallacy puts numbers on quantity, when in fact it's quality that's more important. It kills 99% of all household germs. Yes, that's fine until you learn that the other 1% are typhoid. We regularly read sociological surveys that claim that children in Birmingham are more tolerant and children in Wales are less attentive, and various attributes are made, and always numbers are put on them. And always one has to look very carefully at the background work to realise how many times the fallacy of false precision is being used to put exact numbers on something that isn't exact. Macroeconomists tell us happily that the growth rate is only going to be 1.4% instead of the 1.7% they previously told us. What they don't say is that some of the figures they're using, each of them have a plus or minus 5% error margin, so it could be anywhere within a vast range. False precision again. False precision is a flimsy bridge to carry our knowledge to where we want it to be, rather than where it sits in the real world. Use false precision to add authority to your claims. People will conjure up, those numbers will conjure up an army of white-coated scientists and mathematicians ready to back up your claim. And that invisible army will make your statements look far more plausible than they deserve to be given the evidence. So when someone says, we can be 90% certain that Bloggs is guilty, you can be 100% certain that he can't prove it.
Madsen Pirie, showing once more that if you know your fallacies, you can win every argument.